Attractive women grow really accustomed to the power they have over most guys just based off of their looks. But what if instead of chasing women just because they're hot, you had a frame of high value and abundance? You have standards for women beyond how they look that they need to display to actually win you over as a man. And if you have this frame, naturally you're going to be doing some qualification. Qualification is essentially baiting women into trying to impress you so that you are the one actually being chased in the interaction. So here's an example of how you can lead her into this. So if I'm talking to a girl, I can say, hey, I really hate people who use TikTok all the time. I'm just so more interested in people who like going outside more, doing more adventurous stuff and not wasting their time on their phone all day. And then I ask her, do you use your phone a lot? And because I built up all of this positive stuff around not using your phone and how I'm judging people who are always on their phone, most of the time, if she likes you at any level at all, she's gonna be like, oh no, I never use my phone. I'm always outside hiking, blah, blah, blah. And if she does that, then basically she took the bait and she is trying to impress you. So what's the point of this and why does it work so well? Number one, when you get her to qualify herself like that, you're giving a reason to progress to the close. When in a normal situation with most guys, what it'll be like, a girl might show a little bit of interest in him, she'll be attractive, and that's enough reason, basically a logical reason to progress, go home with her that night or whatever. Getting her to prove her worthiness and then rewarding her for it, it makes her feel unique and it makes her feel like she has won you over when really you just gamed her. And number two, this works because of this psychological phenomenon. It's called backwards rationalization. Because she's used to guys validating her and she's not used to really trying to make other people impressed, she's subconsciously thinking like, well, there must be a reason why I'm trying to impress this guy, why I'm trying to display like all my good qualities. It must be because I like him. People generally like the things that they spend time on and invest in emotionally. So the more that you can like get her to qualify, the more that she's invested in you and she doesn't want to lose that investment. So the time you want to do this qualification stuff is when you've already talked to her for a while, she's already shown a little bit of interest, she's reciprocating energy, and this is a way to amplify the little bit of attraction she might already have to you. Once again, it gives logic to the close. It gets her to chase you a little bit, and it just progresses the interaction forward. So here's another example of how you can bait her. So I can say something like, you're really cute, but do you have any special talents? And then let's say she says, yeah, I'm actually really good at playing the piano. Well then, because I baited her and she responded by actually qualifying herself, I want to reward her for qualifying herself and make her feel good about investing. So I want to be like, wow, you're cute and you know how to play the piano. I think I'm in love already. And obviously you want to say that in a joking way. When she goes for your qualifications, this is when you want to show more interest in her. This is when you want to move closer, escalate forward. Okay, but let's say that you try to bait her into qualifying herself, but she doesn't go for it. So with the previous example, you're like, all right, you're cute, but do you have any hidden talents? And then she replies with, actually, I don't. I'm super boring. What you want to do now is just take that as a sign that she's not ready to be qualified yet. So just move on with the set. Don't be reactive. Actually, just like don't react at all. And then just keep moving forward. And then you can try to come back to it later when there's more signs that she's interested in you and you can use that to progress. This could happen for a few reasons why she doesn't take the bait. It could just be like it's too early on in the interaction. You haven't built enough value yet. It could be because you played your hand too hard with her, so you've already kind of shown that you like her so much to the point where she feels like she doesn't need to try to impress you and she can just be nonchalant. Or number three, it's because you're too obviously like interviewing her. You're like, hey, try to impress me with something right now. Or number four, she could actually want to go for the bait and want to qualify herself, but she just doesn't have the social skills to know how to answer it in a way that she thinks would impress you. So you don't want to qualify too early and you don't want to be too obvious with it. And you also don't want to absolutely show her that you love her. You can wait till she has shown a bit of interest and that's the right time to do it. Here's another way you can lead her into qualifying that's a lot more subtle, and girls will definitely not pick up that you're baiting her with this one. And that's challenging her and then getting her to justify. So for example, let's say I'm talking to this girl And I'm like, what are you majoring in college? And she says, you know, I'm majoring in feminist underwater basket weaving. I would then want to look at her quizzically with a judgmental face and be like, what made you decide to choose that? Now she defends her worldview and she's trying to impress me, so she's chasing me again. And there's so many different ways to qualify. I couldn't list them all in this video, but if you do want to see a list, I have one within my free community, and the link for that to join is in the description. The problem with qualifying a girl over and over and over again and having her take the bait is that you're going to continually reward her with validation, and then she's not going to feel the need to qualify herself anymore because you're like, you're so special, you're so unique. You know, if these things keep coming up over and over again, then she's gonna feel like she doesn't have to chase anymore. So the way that we stop this is through disqualifying. Here's an example. So let's say I'm drinking in the bar with a girl and she's like, let's go get another drink. I could say, dude, stop trying to get me drunk. Look, I know what you're trying to do. I've been seeing how you've been looking at me all night. I'm not a piece of meat. What I'm doing right there is I'm playfully disqualifying her as like a sexual partner. And this works for like 3 reasons. So number 1, hot girls are used to getting validation. They're not used to guys who will disqualify them as a sexual partner. And it's gonna make them want to win you back. Number 2, this seems more authentic when I'm disqualifying because I'm not just over and over again letting her win. And number 3, it puts her in a relaxed mood because I'm not so thirsty about trying to have sex with her, chasing after her directly. I'm giving her a little bit of obstacles, a little bit of a chase. Here's another one. I could be like, you know what, this wouldn't work out between us because you're just too naughty for me. I'm just too much of a nice guy. I like going to church and stuff. You're just gonna drag me down. And to the average guy who's used to chasing a girl, he's like, oh my God, I would never do that. She's gonna run away. But remember, these girls are so used to getting validation. They're so bored of it that if you're just gonna, shower a girl with compliments, it's not gonna work. Instead, we want her to feel like, wow, this guy's unique. He must be higher value. Why is he disqualifying me? I want to win him over. And to be completely transparent, I'm not even going to act like you actually need to have standards for women to be qualifying them for. As long as you were baiting them into qualifying for whatever reasons, it's still going to have the intended effect. Now, I will say, if you do have kind of like a abundance frame, or you do have a high value frame and you have some standards, then you're going to be able to naturally come up with these things, and you will be naturally disqualifying her, qualifying her just throughout the set. And I know that can be a lot to cover. So once again, if you want to review some of these examples and see a few more, I have a whole list in my free community.